Kids, we got you. Hi everyone, my name is Cairo and I love engineering and technology as my passion, which I could talk about on my show. Don't forget to watch Asphere's Cafe every weeknights right here on Cool FM. Hope to see you soon on my cafe.
Mula sa TVH Group of Networks, ito ang inyong himpilan. Ito ang inyong tahanan. Number 1 sa Mega Manila.
Alright, yes, ladies and gents, it is now 6:31 in the evening, and yes, welcome to Asphere's Cafe. Um, hold on, wait. Wait. Okay, so alright, so yes, let's do another take here. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to Asphere's Cafe. Today is Tuesday, May 20, 2025, and yes, we are kicking off with another day of the coffee session for our fellow listeners, of course, and the viewers of TVH Network this morning as well. So before we begin, it looks like Jim Carr is absent in our show today. So alright, so I have just received a word from Jim Carr that 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 he is experiencing a brownout. So unfortunately, Jim Carr may or may not be able to attend our show tonight. So yeah. Anyways, we will be beginning our cafe right now with the tech cafe. So let's head over to the Verge. Okay, so the first thing I see here is Microsoft's plan to fix the web. Ooh, this is interesting. So let me just wait. Okay, so let me just adjust this here, and then we're going to just do the split screen, of course, here. Alright, so here it is. What you're seeing on the camera now is me scrolling to here, and I don't think this is a paywall article, so we're going to get into this right now, and this is the first tech headline. So let's begin. Which is an web. Alright, so the 10,000 foot level view is that we have had 3 big revolutions in personal computing. That's how Ramanathan V. Guha, a technical fellow at Microsoft, begins his explanation of what I had thought was a relatively minor AI announcement coming at this year's Build Developer Conference. But Guha continues to make his case that what he has created a new open protocol for the web called NLWeb. So this is interesting that this is considered a new open protocol. So that is actually an important part of something truly enormous. Oh, the 3 revolutions too. We have graphical user interface, the internet, and mobile. Guha says we were in the middle of the 4th, but doesn't just chalk it all up to artificial intelligence. For him, the new revolution is being able to communicate with applications and computers in general with free-form language. He loves the trend, but not the way it's shaping up. Too much of that new communication, Guha thinks, is mediated by products like ChatGPT, Google, and yes, even Bing. He doesn't like the idea that the web will be ultimately consumed by chatbots, which take all their knowledge and return no value. And I agree with his statement here, because Who would thought nowadays that the world will be full of chatbots and not humans, right? Yeah, I'm not a fan of having the world having full of chatbots and not having human support. So yeah, I agree with the statement. And yet he thinks he knows how to fix it. Well, let's get into his context. So Guha's big idea is to make it easy for any website or app owner to add ChatGPT style interaction features. With a few lines of NL web code, your choice of an AI model, and whatever data you supply to the model, you can have a custom chatbot up and running in just a few minutes. Gua says it's a protocol, and the protocol is a way of asking a natural language question, and the answer comes back in structured form. Basically, NLWeb handles all the logistics of turning a question into an answer, and all you do is supply the data. By limiting things to your platform and your area of expertise, plus some of the general world knowledge most models have now, you might be able to quickly make something far better than a general purpose chatbot. Guha shows a few examples. He opens up a demo of Series Eats that includes NOApp, opens up the search box, and types, "Give me spicy and punchy stuff that I can use as an appetizer." A couple of seconds later, it pops up a few links. Then he refines the search, responding that he's looking to make something for Diwali. He also mentions he's a vegetarian. This thing understands that it needs to remember that. Hua says, "From now on, the idea goes Series 8 will only ever recommend vegetarian dishes." Then he goes to an outdoor retailer and runs a similar search. He's looking for a jacket warm enough to wear in Quebec. Not a typical clothing company research result, but the model works and displays a bunch of product options, complete with photos and related information that fit the bill. It not only brings in knowledge about the weather, Google says, it allows them to render it in a UI that is conducive to things like sponsor links. The point here is not that these searches are possible, it's that almost any developer or website owner can deploy them. They don't have to rely on some external AI product to answer people's questions and just hope that and pray the bot sends the link to them. They can run the bot themselves. Microsoft is working with a number of publishers along with companies like TripAdvisor, Eventbrite, and Shopify to build natural interaction into the platform directly. The idea is that rather than having these custom one-on-one deals like Shopify now has with OpenAI, it's an open protocol, Guam says. The other upside of all this, it's cheap. Much cheaper than traditional search, Gua says. In order to have a web search index, he says you need to crawl the web and have an index that contains it. That's expensive for both the search engines and the websites involved. With NoWeb, Gua says I just take an RSS feed, put it in a vector database, and it runs off that. It can call an inexpensive model, because models are using GPT-4 Mini, but he says there are even cheaper options and the whole thing is fast and easy. It allows for the remixing and the back and forth at an incredibly low price. So this is pretty interesting if you ask me, and yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. How how Guha is coming up with this idea, and yeah, I have to say it in my knowledge that this looks interesting. So yeah, we have the rest of the NL web. So basically that explains how NL web works. And basically you just have to do a bit of search to any site or app, and yeah, just a few lines of code. So this is pretty interesting. So if Dreamcar was here, I would have let him know what does he think about this one so far, because again, my take, pretty cool idea, I would say. And now let's take a look at the comments. What does the Virtuous have to say? Well, to the hero who is reposting these Skype only articles outside the store, okay, well, thank you. Well, oh, I mean, the Virtuous are partially paywall already. I do not want a bot to talk to. I want a well designed the UI that takes me from A to B on the web without any advertising um, or non-consensual media along the way. But what I want as a consumer directly contradicts what our corpo in the boardroom wants, and that is why the internet will continue to get worse. The technology isn't the problem. It's who controls the technology and the absolute lack of democracy in our society. I agree. Web3 vibes honestly, but maybe it will pan out. Well, we'll see if this is actually going to work with the NOWeb, because NOWeb to me will be very interesting. So yeah, but I do feel some Web3 vibes, and what I mean Web3 is basically NFT. Remember NFT, guys? Remember NFT? That used to be a trend nowadays, but now it's not really trend. So yeah, Web3 is kind of dead. All right, so that is the first headline on the tech coverage regarding NLWeb. So let's keep going, and we will be taking a break. So we have another related headline to Microsoft, and this is coming from Kevin Scott. And I'm not sure if this is paywall. We'll find out in a bit. It's not paywall, so that is interesting. So this was interviewed with The Verge Decoder, and we're going to see what, I don't know if this is quite long, which I will be checking here, but it does seem to be long. So we're just going to summarize how what what Kevin Scott uh, said on how the AI can save the web and not destroy it. So let's see um, what Kevin said there. So the goal here isn't just to improve the local search feature on a bunch of disconnected websites. It's to rethink how search even works in a world where AI is more broadly distributed. Think about it this way. Right now, building a search engine requires you to go and index all the pages on the internet, and then keep that index consistently updated, which is an enormous recurring cost. That cost is why there are really only two main search indexes, Google's obviously, and Microsoft's Bing Index, which powers most of the alternative search engines like DuckDuckGo that you might be familiar with. Those centralized search indexes are also the underpinnings of our current AI search tools like the search built into ChatGPT and Bing or Google's AI overviews. But if all those websites suddenly have their own powerful natural language search tools, well, you might not need that big central index. All you really need is a standard that lets you ask a bunch of websites if they can answer your questions, which will dramatically bring down the cost of search overall and maybe let more competitors into the market. So Microsoft's local search project is built on such a standard. It's called Model Context Protocol, or MCP, and is what allows AI agents to interact with database and services in a controlled way, and not clearly clicking around websites, which is what a lot of agentic products do right now. So that is the first glance we got to read here, and well, if we take a look here, so this is called Model Context Protocol, and which we just read right now. So basically, this is what they're going to do to allow AI to interact with database and services in a controlled way. So yes. So to recap, MCP was initially developed by Anthropic. Now the rest of the industry, including Google, is starting to support it. There's a long way to go, but the first step is just enabling MCP on more sites, which is why Microsoft is making MCP-powered local search cheap and easy to implement. You heard that sentence right. So what this means is that it will have more, it will gain more site traffic, as what they're saying here. Maybe it will gain more site traffic, and maybe some of the businesses will be more sustainable. Which if this idea turned out to work, or I should say if this idea works, then this is going to help websites gain more traffic, and I am up for this one here. All right, so and here is the long interview, which we're not gonna read it here, but we just read the summary of how it we just summarize really we just basically summarize of how they're going to make the internet a better place, not destroying it with AI, obviously, and that is anthropic web. So yeah, so let's take a look. What do they have to say about this? Um, all right, so it looks like the most of the reception. I'm sorry, the reception is negative, but for me, I would say I'm kinda up for this one. I suggest we replace this guy with AI. Think of the money you would save. Yeah, I mean, if this is what he thinks, well, if only they can get it right with the AI, maybe that will work. So yeah. And apparently I just noticed the clock on the ticker is apparently wrong. So we need to restart the ticker here because yeah, I don't know what time is it there. Okay, there you go. So yeah. Alright, so let me get back here and just to make sure if I have summarized it off. Looks like it because basically this is basically Kevin Scott talking about the anthropic web on how it can save the internet. So there you go. So pretty interesting, but it may not be for everyone, I would say. Alright, so wait. Okay. Alright, so we're now gonna be taking a break. It is now 6:47 in the evening as we return with more tech coffee sessions right here on Asphere's Cafe. Our sponsors, Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus. Dream Cars Pizza, we make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. And Campinoy Coffee, if it's coffee, it's Campinoy Coffee from FMS Manufacturing Corporation. And of course, DLX Karaoke. Stay along with us. Asphere's Cafe will return after the break.
This program was brought to you by Asphere's Aircon. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available Dream Cars frozen pizza in supermarkets near you.
Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee from FES Manufacturing Corporation. And DLX Karaoke, ang tunay na karaoke ng bayan.
Trust. It's a bond that is nurtured for years, from generation to generation. At Asphere, our greatest accomplishment is earning the trust of millions of satisfied users in the Philippines alone. Making life cool and comfortable for over 100 years now. Asphere, the air conditioning expert. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Ang mas masarap na pizza ay andito na! Dream Cars Pizza, the finest pizza in the Philippines. Rich sauce, crispy crust, smooth creamy cheese, maraming toppings to choose from. And not only that, may frozen pizza rin sila. Take your pizza on the go. Dream Cars Pizza. We make the pizza the Dream Cars way.
For deliveries, call 141-9191. That's 141-9191.
Dream Cars Frozen Pizza are also available in supermarkets near you.
Dream Car Karaoke po. Tuwing pagising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap. Kaya lumipat na ako sa bagong kape ng bayan.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. Gawa sa purong Arabica at Robusta mula sa pinakamainit na puso ng Pilipinas. Piniling mabuti at inihanda ng may pagmamalasakit.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap. O mga Kapinoy, subukan nyo ng tikman ang lasa ng bayan.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Capinoy Coffee, masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Mga Kapinoy, tikman nyo na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. Tamang-tama lang tapang at sarap ng kape na tiyak na magigising ka. Kaya subukan na ang bagong Capinoy Coffee. Also available, Kapidoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Cream mula sa FBS Manufacturing Corporation.
Araw-araw, MX3 para extraordinary. With alphabet, gamma na sangkap nito. Tunay, original at natural na suplemento. With MX3, so coffee and tea. With MX3, it's for you and me. With MX3, dito ako believe.
Mahalagang paalala, ang MX3 capsule ay hindi gamot at hindi dapat gamiting panggamot sa anumang uri ng sakit.
Dumarami na ang gumagaling sa Sid Panyawan Herbal Capsule. Ako po si Antonio de la Cruz from Northern Cotabato. Dati po sumakit yung likod ko pero ngayon gumaling na dahil sa Sid Panyawan.
Ako po si Kin. At dati po sumakit po aking tiyan at likod at ulo. Ayun, ininom ko yung herbal capsule. Pagkatapos bigla ako gumaling. Ay bay, natuwang aking misis.
Mabibili sa lahat ng drugstores nationwide.
Maulan man, no worries na amoy kulob ang damit.
Charm, Fabcon, bangong kumakabloom, tanggal amoy kulob sa bango ng Charm.
Charm Babcon with Bloom Fresh technology kills 99.9% of kulob-causing bacteria tested. May aroma burst pa of thousands of flowers and berries.
Ang sampay sa loob, no amoy kulob.
Bangong kumakabloom sa Charm.
Manufactured by ACS Manufacturing Corporation. ISO certified world-class quality.
ACS.
Sa tulong ng Revicon Forte, ipalag ang lakas mo. Sagat ka na ba o papalan ba? Sa Revicon Forte, kahit pagod ka na, may ibubugay ka pa. Sa Revicon Forte, may palag ang lakas mo.
Proper diet and exercise. Unilab yan. Multivitamins, minerals, amino acids is the generic name of Revicon Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Matanda na ako, kaya handa na akong magpaalam sa mga mahal ko sa buhay.
Bye, anak! Laro muna kami ng mga apo ko.
Let's go, Lola!
Bye, mga mother! Unahan ko na kayo tumakbo! Ruwak ka!
Enjoy ang buhay pag nag-buy sa Aray with Skelan. Lamang sa bisa para sa Aray. Hiyang pa sa heart at bulsa. $9.50 lang SRP. Naproxen sodium is the generic name of Skelan. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Long night.
Bakit kailangan pang maghintay sa pagdating ng bagong araw? Pwede namang mag-drive na muna. Kahit man sandali magpahinga.
Magpahinga na muna and perk up at Dunkin'. Pasalubong ng bayan.
Brush, 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 3 times a day. Brush, brush, brush to keep cavities away. Brush, 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 para strong, strong, strong. Brush, 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 para Colgate strong. Brush with Colgate.
Your home for relaxing favorites. FM.
And we are back. It is now 6:54 in the evening, and looks like we have one of the poll heads, Stephen Solid, in our stage tonight. So, good evening, Stephen. Okay, so what we are seeing in his camera right now is he's
I'm still... Wait lang. Nasa labas ako eh. Narinig mo ba ako?
Yes, I can hear you loud
Ay,
and clear.
salamat.
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can hear you, Stephen.
Ito... Bawi.
Let me go.
Bawi pa lang. Yun Avenue pa lang. Ayun na nga, malapit na ang train. Just a life update. Mga siguro by the end of this month.
Okay, I think we...
Po ang
Okay, never
sa
Sa DCYW.
Hmm.
Ay,
Alright.
malakas. Malakas ang ano dito. So, abangan nyo guys ang aking comebacks sa Cool FM. Probably still on the 11 p.m. slot or earlier than that, pero we'll never know.
Alright.
Pero sige, mauna na ako.
Alright. Take care, Steven. Have safe trip. Thank you. Alright, let's see what else we have here, and let's see. Wait. Why do we have CAS keynote on Delta Airlines? Not in my bingo cards. No, no. Okay, let's keep going. All right. We have we have an interesting stuff from Blue Sky, and that is themselves testing a new live indicator for streamers and sports. So here it is. Blue Sky is making it easier to know when someone is live streaming or when a live NBA event is happening with a new test that adds a red border to profile pics along with a live call out below it. When you click a profile picture with that indicator, you'll be taking out a Blue Sky and to whatever live events is being promoted. Blue Sky's COO Ross Wang announced yesterday that the feature was being tested for both the NBA's new account on the platform. She added later that the test extends to the WNBA too, as TechCrunch points out. Today, Blue Sky says the badge will also appear for a handful of accounts when they posted links to live streams, including on YouTube and Twitch. It added that it plans to tweak the feature based on feedback before it launches to all users. Wang wrote in her post yesterday, "We aren't trapping you in Blue Sky. We want you to use Blue Sky just to discover what's happening." In the context of sports, Wang's post feels like a dig at the various various deals Twitter made with sports organizations like the NFL, MLB, and NHL, and the NBA to stream their content on this platform rather than linking out to their streams elsewhere. In an interview with Sports Pro last month, Wang said Blue Sky doesn't have the means or desire to take on partnerships like those, but the new live batch testing for the NBA shows it's certainly not about doing what it can to nurture its burgeoning sports Blue Sky. So there you go. So that is Blue Sky testing out the new live indicator for live streamers and of course sports organizations. So how that looks, well, let's take a look. So the image for some reason didn't load, so we are bringing up Blue Sky right now. And luckily I still have access here. And I just happened greeted with a with with a with a pop-up regarding the verification. So another good move. Another good move. Alright, so how that works, what you're seeing here, how that works is you will see the live indicator and then on your profile picture that says live. So pretty cool that Blue Sky is testing this out. So yay. That is a huge advantage for them. Alright, so that is Blue Sky, a headline on the Tech Cafe. Now let's continue what we have here. Alright, so we will be catching up on what Microsoft has covered so far in their Build 2025. So we have edit on Windows, which we will cover that soon. And yet another incident. Remember not too long ago that we covered on Asphere's Cafe, where Microsoft employee disrupted the Microsoft anniversary keynote. Remember not too long ago? Remember not too long ago that we covered weeks ago? Here we are again. And this time it's from Joe Lupus. And mind you, this is gonna be a little bit political because I know this is being held at the tech event. So before we play this, I will need to check if the audio works. So let me just double check right now. It looks like it's muted. But yeah, let's take a look at the video which I am about to show you, which I'm about to warn you that this is going to be a little bit political, mind you. Okay, I'm sorry. The audio is not actually working, so let me restart the screen share here, and then we're possibly going to repeat it from the beginning. Okay, so it wants me to watch again on Instagram, which yeah, right, because yeah, right. Anyways, you have been warned. This is going to be a little bit political.
How about you show how Israeli war crimes are powered by Azure? And the Microsoft worker I refuse.
Are you having a seat right here? Sorry. Are you having a seat right here? Oh, then you can have a...
Free Palestine! I'm a former Google worker and an tech worker.
And when it comes to VS Code,
You just saw that, ladies and gents. Oh man, and you have another incident. Oh man, another incident. Oh, that disrupted Microsoft keynote not too long ago, and my God, this is the second time. I swear to God, this is the second time that Microsoft employee disrupted the keynote. The first time was when Microsoft held anniversary keynote. Yeah, me, you heard that right. So anyway, man, it's it's hilarious. Not really hilarious, but it's pretty wild. I have to say that it's pretty wild. So, and as for Microsoft's situation, announced it last week that it had recently conducted an internal review and used an unnamed external firm to assess how its technology is used in the conflict in Gaza. Microsoft says that its relationship with the Israel Ministry of Defense is structured as a standard commercial relationship and that it has found no evidence that Microsoft's Azure and AI technologies or any of our other software have been used to harm people or that iBot has failed to comply with our terms of service or our AI code of conduct. So yeah, I told you guys, I told you, and thanks to Verge for bringing that up. Yeah, that was the 50th anniversary keynote. So this was weeks ago, huh? This was weeks ago. So this is not the first time, but rather the second time that they disrupted it. And yeah, and then now you have Joe Lopez email in full, and it's a pretty long one. So of course they're descending at Microsoft of what they're doing in the world of politics. So yeah, this is a political landscape right now, guys. Right, moving on. Microsoft's edit on Windows is a new command line text editor. Ooh, interesting. So Microsoft is unveiling its own command line text editor at its build conference today. Edit on Windows will be accessible by using edit in the command prompt, allowing developers to edit files within the command line. It's part of several improvements aimed at bettering the Windows experience for developers. Edit on Windows is an open source project by Microsoft and enables developers to edit files directly in the command line, just like Vim, without having to switch to another app or window. Edit is small and lightweight at less than 250 kilobytes in size. All the menu options on Edit have key bindings, and you can open multiple files and switch between them using the Control B shortcut. Microsoft has also added Find and Replace to Edit, as well as Batch Case and regular expression support as well. Edit also supports word wrapping. So, Christopher Nguyen explained, who is a product manager of Windows Terminal. What motivated us to build Edit was the need for a default CLI text editor in 64-bit versions of Windows. 32-bit versions of Windows ship with the MS-DOS edit, but 64-bit versions do not have a CLI editor installed in box. Microsoft also wanted to avoid the "how do I access Vim" meme, so it built its own text editor instead of relying on other available options. And you can set. Because we want to avoid this for a built-in default editor, we decided that we wanted a model-less editor for Windows versus a model editor where new users would have to remember different modes of operation and how to switch between them. Edit on Windows will be available in the Windows Insider program in the coming months. Microsoft has more information about Edit over at its GitHub repo. So there you go. I have to say this is a pretty unique and a much needed change, and yeah, I am excited for this new feature for Windows Terminal, and yeah, looks pretty good, guys. It looks pretty good. I mean, they're finally shipping a quote-unquote new feature to 64-bit version of Command Prompt, and it is a much needed change. So kudos to them for bringing this forth. So yeah, it's a much needed change after all, and I'm a fan of this one. So good job, Microsoft. And now let's read the comments. Let's see. I bet it is getting the edit is going away in message before it ever loses the preview level label, just like that phone. I don't think so. Shout out to also to Y edit from Yori. It's a creation of the old MS-DOS edit.exe. Cool. Which are interesting facts here. Alright, so now aside from that, what else we have here? We have already covered that as well. Alright. Their new AI coding agent from GitHub. Pretty interesting. Alright, so this is coming from GitHub themselves. GitHub is launching an AI coding agent that can do things like fix bugs, add features, and improve documentation, all on a developer's behalf. The agent is embedded directly into GitHub Copilot, and it will start working once a user assigns it a task according to an announcement at Microsoft Build. To complete its work, GitHub says the AI coding agent will automatically boot a virtual machine, clone the repository, and analyze the code base. It also saves its changes as it works, while providing a rundown of its reasoning in session logs. When it's finished, GitHub says the agent will tag you for review. Developers can then leave comments that the agent will automatically address. Aside from GitHub, other AI companies have revealed AI coding agents of their own. Google took a reps of Jules in December, while OpenAI showed off ChatGPT's coding agent called Codex from related issue or PR, pull requests, discussions, and follows any custom respiratory instructions, allowing it to understand both the intent behind the task and the coding standards of the project, GitHub states. The new coding agent is available to Copilot Enterprise and Copilot Pro Plus users through GitHub site, its mobile app, and the GitHub command line interface tool. Microsoft also announced that it's open sourcing GitHub Copilot in Visual Studio Code, which means developers will be able to build upon to those AI capabilities. So far, this is going to be neat for lazy developers who are lazy to fix the bugs. So sure enough, if this turns out to be well, then this will eliminate much time for developers to fix bugs, and I think I am all hyped for this one. So yeah, nice. So I have to say this is pretty nice that GitHub is helping developers who are lazy or not having much manpower to fix bugs for them. So yeah, this is pretty cool. And before we head to the break, we are now getting into the last one, and that is the Windows subsystem for Linux, which is now open source. Microsoft is making its Windows subsystem for Linux open source today, opening up the code for community members to contribute to. After launching Windows subsystem for Linux for Windows 10 nearly 9 years ago, it has been a multi-effort at Microsoft to open source the feature that enables a Linux environment within Windows. I mean, to be fair, Microsoft. The Linux has always been open source, and now they're hopping into a bandwagon to open source their Windows subsystem for Linux. So this is, I say, a big advantage for Linux developers. So pretty cool. So Windows chief Pavan Davuluri said in an interview with The Verge, it has been a consistent request from the developer community for some time now. It took us a little bit of time because we needed to refactor the operating system to allow Windows subsystem for Linux to live in a standalone capacity that then allow us to open source the project and be able to have developers go and make contributions for us to ingest those into the Windows pipeline and ship it at scale. So it is now you can now so the Windows subsystem for Linux code is now available on GitHub, allowing developers to download it and build it from source, participate in fixes, or even add new features. The Windows subsystem for Linux community hasn't had access to Microsoft's source code in the past, but that hasn't stopped them from making contributions that have helped improve Windows subsystem for Linux over the years. Davuluri says he's now expecting that developers will use the open source project to help improve Windows subsystem for Linux performance or for more integration into Linux services. So yeah, as a person who used to use Windows subsystem for Linux, I have to say this is going to be a huge advantage and another much needed improvement for Windows subsystem for Linux, and maybe this will encourage them to dive deeper into Linux too. So so if you're one of the developers who used Linux before, you could start contributing to Windows subsystem for Linux today, and you can help improve the source code for to fellow Windows users who use Windows subsystem for Linux. So yeah, at long last, WSL or Windows subsystem for Linux is finally open source. So yay! I mean, Linux is open source, right? And now Windows subsystem for Linux is completely open source. Alright, it is now 7:12 in the evening as we will be taking a break. But in the meantime, our sponsors, Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus, Dream Cars Pizza, we make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Kapinoy Coffee with Coffee is Kapinoy Coffee from FPS Manufacturing Corporation and DLX Karaoke. And wait a minute, I just need to check for a bit. Alright. Wait, I just need to double check again. Alright. Alright, there you go. Alright, so fellas, we will be taking a break now, and yes, Asphere's Cafe will return after the break. We will be right back.
This program was brought to you by Asphere's Aircon. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available Dream Cars frozen pizza in supermarkets near you.
Kapinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Kapinoy Coffee from FPS Manufacturing Corporation. And DLX Karaoke, ang tunay na karaoke ng bayan.
Trust. It's a bond that is nurtured for years, from generation to generation. At Asphere, our greatest accomplishment is earning the trust of millions of satisfied users in the Philippines alone, making life cool and comfortable for over 100 years now. Asphere, the air conditioning expert. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Ang mas masarap na pizza ay andito na! Dream Cars Pizza, the finest pizza in the Philippines. Rich sauce, crispy crust, smooth creamy cheese, maraming toppings to choose from. And not only that, may frozen pizza rin sila. Take your pizza on the go. Dream Cars Pizza. We make the pizza the Dream Cars way.
For deliveries, call 141-9191. That's 141-9191.
Dream Cars Frozen Pizza are also available in supermarkets near you.
Dream Car Karaoke po, tuwing pagising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Kapinoy Coffee.
Masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Kapinoy Coffee.
Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
San Miguel, may chance manalo ng 1 milyon o cash prize, motorcycle o jersey. Tignan lang sa ilalim ng cap o selyo ng participating Ginebra products at i-claim ang prize sa partner outlets. Terms and conditions apply. Visit Ginebra pages for details. Promo runs from March 15 to July 31, 2025 per DOH FDA CFRR permit number 0017 series of 2025. Drink responsibly.
Enjoy barkada moments with the new Cornetto Apple Crumble Disc. Refreshing and creamy ice cream, fudgy white choco disc with speculoos, crunchy choco dip. Tip to top, sarap na Cornetto! Pili na!
May bagong energy na! All new Best Ever Enervon, Enervon C+. Powered with zinc, vitamin C, vitamins B1, 2, 3, 5, 6, and 12, at vitamin E. All new Best Ever Enervon.
Hey! Enervon Z+.
Unilab yan.
Multivitamins plus zinc is the generic name of Enervon Z+. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Gusto kong mag-relax pero di ko magawa. Gusto kong mag-relax pero di ko magawa.
Di ka talaga marerelax pag nanakit ang katawan. Mag-Alaxan FR, may relief to relax formula laban sa sakit ng katawan. Relax muna, tapos game ulit bukas.
Totoo ang relax, walang sakit ng katawan. Totoo ang relax, mag-Alaxan.
Heidelin Diaz po, pag totoo ang relief, totoo ang relax. Alaxan FR.
Alagang Unilab yan.
Ibuprofen paracetamol is the generic name of Alaxan FR. If symptoms persist, consult your...
Tight game! Shoots! And it's... Nabitin? Mag-Tusiran Forte with Total Cough Relief Formula. Laban sa dry non-stop ubo, kati sa lalamunan due to post-nasal drip at sakit sa kakaubo. Tusiran Forte! Unilab yan.
Dextromethorphan, HBr plus phenylpropanolamine HCl plus paracetamol is the generic name of Tusiran Forte. If symptoms persist, consult your doctor.
Welcome sa Cebuano Amazing World! Dito, all-in ang microfinancial services. OFWs, sakay na! May loan pampagawa ng bahay, pang brand yung motor, o bagong business. Cebuano Amazing! Swak ang microsaving dito. Laging ready with microinsurance. May money transfer, may cash in, cash out, remit to bank, at bills payment. Cebuano Amazing! Pwede rin mag-invest sa gold. May rewards pa! San man sa Pilipinas, basta microfinancial services, all-in dito. Kaya Cebuano Amazing ang life!
Microsavings is a product of Cebuano Lumiere Rural Bank. Deposits are insured by PDIC up to 500,000 pesos per depositor. Supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas.
Mamadaming time sa lahat ng gusto nyo. Mamadaming time, Champion Detergent ang gamit ko. Champion na!
Sa Champion Quick Wash Technology, less time sa lavada, more time sa pamilya.
And now we are back to Asphere's Cafe. It is now 7:19 in the evening as we continue to do the Tech Cafe right here on Asphere's Cafe. And it looks like we only have 11 minutes, that is before TVH Network leaves the broadcast of Asphere's Cafe this morning. Okay, so where do we begin here? Since we are taking a look at 95 Google, and of course we will be covering... Oh wait, apparently today is Google I.O. So that will be at the next day or next week perhaps. But okay, so let's start off with Walmart's $30 Chromecast with Google TV replacement. That is the on 4K Plus. So Walmart has unceremoniously released the on 4K Plus. It's $30 Google TV streaming device that acts as a perfect Chromecast replacement. Walmart has made some of the past affordable and shockingly great Android TV and Google TV devices in recent years. Going into 2025, there were some early rumblings about a new device in the works, which later turned into early user review leaks and listings showing up on Walmart's website. Last week, now though, Walmart has released the said device generally and without any fanfare. So, for the specs, you get 16 gigabytes of storage and you also have the USB-C support. Again, that is only for $30, not only filling a gap left behind by the Comcast dad, but also doing it for a lower price. You will find Dolby Vision and Atmos support, a faster chipset, and Wi-Fi 6 support as well. So, so yes. As a side note, you can only buy this device. You can only buy it in the America, the United States, and it's going to be region blocked elsewhere. Remember that they released the software update that blocks you from using the device after factory reset. There you have it. So, yeah, if you get unsupported region, you're gonna be asked to factory reset the device. And yeah, let me just go here. Okay, so yeah, there you go. So that is on 4K Plus, and as we will be taking a look at the um as we will be taking a look at the r/Android TV, if if they have their if they have their opinions on this one here. So let's take a look. Okay, yeah, we already covered that, and I wonder if someone has actually um I wonder if someone has actually uh, reviewed it already, and yep, someone has already reviewed it since they got their hands on it. So this is coming from Redditor Leah Parins 1965. So this is what he said in his review. A small white light on the front, USB-C power connector, and HDMI on the back of the box. It comes packaged with a pretty small 1.5 amp adapter. The new AMLogic chipset is more efficient. I've not tried using Ethernet through the USB yet, but that should be straightforward. Wi-Fi speed is good. Speed-wise, the system is pretty quick, somewhat similar to a 905X4. Possibly the graphics are quicker. It does seem pretty snappy. And for the Kodi, the 4K works fine. Dolby Vision works. Also, frame rate change works fine. He was able to stream 120 megabytes 4K file without issue. His initial impressions are that this is an excellent box and is pretty killer for $30. Yes, 2 gigs of RAM memory is a bit small, but it does work. So far, in his first initial impressions, he's saying that it it's it is living up to the standards for this product. So I'd say at least not bad for this one here. But as we take a look at the comments, it has no improvements over the Pro. Still no audio pass-through. Everything goes through the Adobe stack. You must use low latency Dolby Vision to get HDR if set to adaptive. I mean, to be fair, what you said is right. Another commenter said is right. The Plus is not an improvement nor an upgrade to the Pro. And there is a reason why Pro is positioned at the top, while the Plus is positioned in the middle, and the basic version positioned at the bottom. There is a reason why the Plus is positioned in the middle. So there you go. So that is on Google TV 4K Plus review from our initial impressions so far. And yeah, so that is how the device looks, and we will be taking a look at their website right now because I'm also interested to see how that looks. Great. It wants me to know if I'm a robot or human. Obviously, I'm a human. So let's press and hold. And there you go. Please try again now. Wow. Let's keep going. Okay, let go here. Oh wait, it doesn't want me to go to the Wallflower website. It doesn't want me to go to their website because they know that I am they know that I'm not in America, so that's why it's denying me access here. So womp womp. But there you go. So again, I'm not using a VPN. I'm using direct internet connection. Mind you, I have not been using a VPN for a while now, and yeah, it does nothing. So yeah. All right, let's move on to the next one. All right, so right, we're getting into the Snapdragon 8 Elite news. Here it is. So Qualcomm has confirmed that its next big event to launch the second generation Snapdragon 8 Elite and other new products will be happening in late September ahead of schedule yet again. During its Computex 2025 presentation, Qualcomm officially announced that its Summit 2025 event will take place from September 23rd to 25. That's roughly a month earlier than last year's October 21 unveiling. The folks at Notebook Check captured the slide during Qualcomm's presentation. While a new Snapdragon 8 Elite generation is likely to be a major spotlight, it won't be the only big announcement. Qualcomm is also due to launch a new generation of its laptop chips for Windows laptops such as Microsoft Service Laptop. It's unclear when the first smartphones with the new Snapdragon 8 Elite will launch, but it stands to reason that it will not be very long after this announcement. OnePlus, Xiaomi, Motorola, and other brands are often first to adopt these new chips, or Samsung and others may not launch new chips until early 2026. So there you go. So the new chips again, the new Snapdragon 8 Elite chipset is set to kick off next month, and again we do not know what will be the first lineup of smartphones that will use the chipset. So we will just have to wait and see. That is. But again, what the improvements will be mostly notable for the flagships, for the newer flagships, of course. So yeah. All right. So now, so we're down to 3 minutes before 7:30 hits, and that is 3 minutes left before our fellow TVH level viewers will be saying goodbye to our show, as we only have an hour of our show on TVH. So let's check. If we have any related news so far. Nothing much. I think I have already talked about this before. And now the mini player, which I have not seen this before. Okay, so yeah, I don't think I have talked about this before. So yeah, it looks like they're testing, or I should say, they're rolling out an updated mini player for YouTube, and that is how it looks right here. So if you take a look at the first and right, if it lets me zoom in, it doesn't for some reason, but yeah. So here is the one on the left that's before, and on the right is after. And I have to say, it's not really bad. I would say it's not really bad, but for me, it's still the same. Nonetheless, it still looks. I still have the same UI here. So let me just get my my low budget smartphone in a bit. Give me a moment. Okay, I just came back, and now I will be checking what version am I running on the YouTube app. So if I go to tap on the icon, we are at the version 20.20.36. So if I open YouTube app right now, and if I watch my own show, let's check if I have a new mini player. And nope. Wait, I haven't minimized it yet. Let me check. Okay, so it looks like I'm still getting the old mini playout on what I'm seeing here. So maybe it will take time for YouTube to roll out rightly. But as of right now, I am still seeing the old old mini player setup. So yeah, again, this is much better than the old mini player because the mini player on the old one, or you should say the old mini player look, eh. But the new one looks way better, and it should always been like that. So yeah, I would say that's a huge improvement to the mini player so far. All right, it looks like our time is up. So our fellow TVH Never viewers, thank you so much for joining us. We will be back again tomorrow. We will do the anime cafe on Asper's Cafe. So yeah, also starting tomorrow, the background music will be changed for the very first time, and unfortunately, the music that we piloted last week will not be used sadly because of the copyright issues. So we'll be cooking something new with the OBP and the bumpers of Asper's Cafe starting tomorrow or maybe next week. So yeah, TVH, thank you very much for joining us. And until then, I am Cairo, and this has been Asper's Cafe on TVH. The cafe is now closed. We will see you tomorrow morning, same time, same place, of course. And yeah, bye bye, TVH. Bye bye. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Four, three, two, one, and we are back. It is now 7:31 in the evening as we are left with the rest of us right here on Cool FM, Cool TV, and live streaming on TGN Entertainment and TGN Cool FM's YouTube channel, along with ASP Media's YouTube channel as well. All right, so let's continue where we left off, and thanks to the brand new TOC staff for handling the stream. And by the way, I forgot to mention yesterday that we do have our fellow new TOC team who is working on the collaborative shows right now. So, and it is that person who is hosting his own collaborative show that is called May Sasabin Oko. So, MSA, good evening. Um,
Hi,
so,
good evening.
how was your experience doing your TOC activities while on
Not
collaborative?
bad. But, ayos naman.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Go on. Go on.
Wait lang.
But yeah, and then right now you are controlling Asper's Cafe. Well,
Yes.
with an assistance from me, of course, because I just still need you to know how it works. So that's why I'm going to be guiding a little bit of assistance. But eventually
Mm.
you get to know how it works. The same for
Mm.
the other shows too.
Alright.
But yeah, I must say. So yesterday, apparently your first day was yesterday, and again you said it's not bad, but was it was it difficult in your own experience?
Nah, it's not.
Like
It's not difficult.
not difficult, right? But was it easy?
Yes.
Was it easy?
Yeah,
Really?
it's easy. Or maybe a little bit easy.
Mm. I also even saw improvements on the lower thirds, if I'm right. But the lower thirds now have a
Mhm.
visualizer, so yeah,
Yes.
and also now has now playing information if
Mm.
it's music automation or a team music team blocks. So it's a
Mm.
really huge upgrade. If you ask me. I mean, except for rock weekdays, which is still based on music bots, but I have to say it's a massive upgrade. So again, to the TOC team who's been working hard, including you, thank you for making Cool FM live streams, uh, uh, for making for improving Cool FM live streams. So yeah, thank you, MSA. So
Thank
yeah,
you, and you're welcome.
will you also be controlling other shows as well aside from Asterisk Cafe? Like
Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
how about afternoon shows like Gusto Go Viernes and Yapping with Strawberry? How about these other two?
I can. I can.
If you're available, that is. If you're available.
If I'm available. Yes.
All right. So yeah, and just the last question because I don't know if I'm going to be having time. I don't know if I'll have time to join Colorfan Prime Time this Friday. But
Mhm.
will you be hosting Mace's Bean Hoko? at 11? Because I haven't heard from Sen or you that you are switching time slots already. Is it true?
Yes.
Is it true?
Yes. We're switching may sasabihin ako to 11 p.m. and then talk with Sen to 10 p.m. And my show is gonna move to 11 p.m. because
Until midnight, right? Until
yes,
midnight.
until midnight. Yes.
Got it. And I asked the, I wanted to hear a little bit for an explanation as to why you guys decided to switch time slots. What made you decide in the first place?
I don't know.
Or was it DJ Sen? Was it DJ Sen? who
DJ
decided?
Sen. DJ Sen decided it.
Okay. Well, that kind of explains it. So, if DJ Sen was here, maybe I could explain more. But again, I almost forgot. I didn't get to join the return of DWC episode last week because again I was busy with some other errands
Mm-hmm.
related to, if you know, you know. But yeah, I was busy with other errands, but I was able to listen to the bits of the DWC episode, but I didn't get to co-host last
Mm-hmm.
week. So, but again, the return of DWC was a much needed comeback on Cool FM, and I have to say, I mean, I'm related to the party, but again, congrats, TJ Sad, for the successful comeback of DWC.
Yeah. Congratulations, DJ Sen.
All right, so yeah, thanks. So yeah, anything else to say before you hop back to the audience? You have anything else, MSA?
Um, 30 and 31, abangan. Sa may sasabihin
Stay
ako,
tuned.
special
Some
episode.
good stuff,
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, yes. All right, so is
Yun
it
lang.
because you're going to do something with your head that makes you go? Oops.
What?
Because
Bruh.
as far as I know, it's a MSA Caldor gold mount, right? But is it true that you're going to make yourself is it true that you're going to make yourself bold this year, or do you have to wait for the viewers to find out? MSA.
Oh my god. Wait. Do I have to? Wait. Wait.
I mean, if you're confused about it, I'm talking about, yeah, that where if you remember not too long ago, because Famine Archives is still celebrating MSA Calbo or Bold Month.
Mamaya.
So, is it true that you're gonna help? I mean, is it true that you're going to make yourself? They're gonna shape your head again to make yourself bold, or do you need to? Or will you let viewers or listeners find out for themselves this May 30 and 31?
We'll find out. What? We'll find out.
Okay, MSA.
Wait. Oh my god, I'm confused. Wait, I'm confused. Wait.
Lamau, you're confused. I mean, to clarify, because
Hmm.
this month, as declared by Famine Archives Discord server, it's MSA Couple Month, also on Hoshi Media server. I mean, do you get it now?
I almost get it.
And then even your status said, "I am bold. Stay tuned on May 31." Is that true?
We'll find out. We'll find out.
There
If
you
I-
go.
If I'm going to be bold.
There you go, guys. There
Oh,
you
thank
go.
God. I just resolved my brain. Hell no. Alright,
There
anyway.
you go. There you go, guys.
Yeah.
So we will have to
We'll
wait
find
at
out.
the end of the month. We'll have to wait at the end of the month if he's going to make his hair bold. I don't know. We'll find out.
In 31.
May 31. Will that be during your show?
Yes.
Oh boy. Wonder. How will they react to you being bold this year? We'll find out. If that
We'll
is-
find out.
We'll find out. All right. With that, is that all, MSA? Before we bring
That's all. That's
Alright,
all.
All right, thank you, MSA, and yeah,
No
see you,
problem.
see you later.
Thank you.
All right. With that, we'll now be taking a last break as we will head over to the smartphone news in a bit. It is now 7:40, and our sponsor is Asphere's Aircon, tried, tested, trusted by the Sparkles, Dream Course Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Course way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Capinar Coffee, if it's coffee, it's Capinar Coffee from FPS Manufacturing Corporation and DLX Karaoke. Stay along with us. We will return with more cafe sessions on Asphere's Coffee after the break. We'll be right back.
This program was brought to you by Asphere's Aircon. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Dream Cars Pizza. We make pizza the Dream Cars way. Call 141-9191 for deliveries. Also available Dream Cars frozen pizza in supermarkets near you.
Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee from FVS Manufacturing Corporation. And DLX Karaoke, ang tunay na karaoke ng bayan.
Trust. It's a bond that is nurtured for years, from generation to generation. At Asphere, our greatest accomplishment is earning the trust of millions of satisfied users in the Philippines alone. Making life cool and comfortable for over 100 years now. Asphere, the air conditioning expert. Tried, tested, trusted by an asparagus.
Ang mas masarap na pizza ay andito na! Dream Cars Pizza, the finest pizza in the Philippines. Rich sauce, crispy crust, smooth creamy cheese, maraming toppings to choose from. And not only that, may frozen pizza rin sila. Take your pizza on the go. Dream Cars Pizza. We make the pizza the Dream Cars way.
For deliveries, call 141-9191. That's 141-9191.
Dream Cars Frozen Pizza are also available in supermarkets near you.
Dream Car Karaoke po. Tuwing pagising mo sa umaga, kailangan mo ng kapeng gigisingin ka sa tapang at sarap. Kaya lumipat na ako sa bagong kape ng bayan.
Tikman ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. Gawa sa purong Arabica at Robusta mula sa pinakamainit na puso ng Pilipinas. Piniling mabuti at inihanda ng may pagmamalasakit.
Tama-tama lang ang tapang at sarap. O mga Kapinoy, subukan nyo ng tikman ang lasa ng bayan.
Tikman na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Capinoy Coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Capinoy Coffee, masarap na coffee. If it's coffee, it's Capinoy Coffee.
Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Creme. Bili na sa inyong mga suking tindahan.
Mga Kapinoy, tikman nyo na ang lasa ng bayan sa bagong Kapinoy Coffee. Tamang-tama lang tapang at sarap ng kape na tiyak na magigising ka. Kaya subukan na ang bagong Kapinoy Coffee. Also available, Kapinoy Coffee 3-in-1 and Pure Cream mula sa FVS Manufacturing Corporation.
Makati, Makati.
Mahapdi, mahapdi.
Makati, Makati.
Mahapdi, mahapdi. Ganyan ang almoranas. Kaya mag all-natural hemorrhoid na. Sa exercise, proper diet at all-natural hemorrhoid na maaglunas sa almoranas in as fast as 4 days. Hemorrhoid, ang lunas sa almoranas. No approved therapeutic claims.
Extra strong? Andito na ang Leon Extra Strong Beer. Bangis ng dating, bangis ng sarap, bangis ng kagat, at 7% ABV. This is Gerald Anderson for Leon Extra Strong Beer. Tikman ang bangis ng Leon. Bangis ng presyo, 47 pesos SRP for 500 ml at 95 pesos SRP for 1 liter. Drink responsibly.
Barbie, pinapahid mo na naman yung Silka Lotion. Anong meron dyan?
Girl, may papaya enzymes and NutriBlend complex to.
Taray, may papaya. Tinola ka, girl.
Ay, sis! Ang Silka may Vita-Absorb technology at SPF 6 din.
SPF? Super Papaya Fruit?
Sun protection factor kasi, friend. Kahit under the sun, skin ay lit with regular use.
Wow, slay it.
Slay it with a skin na gigs. Stay lit with Silka with regular use for only 750 pesos SRP.
Doctor.
Mountain Dew. Do the do, play the...
Magdobling ingat dahil advanced na ang mga scammers ngayon. Kaya nilang gumawa ng IMSI catcher na parang fake cell towers para kumonek sa phone mo. Gamit to, nagsisend sila ng text na may link na kunwari galing sa mga legitimate institutions tulad ng GCash. Pag makatanggap ng message with a link, SMS spoofing scam yan. Tandaan, GCash will never send links. Kahit GCash ang nag-text ng link, huwag mong i-click. Galing ang SMS sa scammers na gumagamit ng illegal cell site para ma-hijack ang SMS. GCash is supervised by the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas. Kahit GCash ang nag-text ng link, huwag mong i-click. SMS spoofing scam yan. Galing ang SMS sa scammers na gumagamit ng illegal cell site para ma-hijack ang SMS. Tandaan, GCash will never send links.
At first I was afraid, matabang lahat. Kept thinking, cooking's not for me, and just give up. But after spending so many nights, nakuha ko ngiti sarap dahil sa Loyal. They'll be wanting for more. Tinola. And now I'm back. Luto mo yan. Lagi akong hinahanap sa gatherings, bawal wala. Basta may Nora ang luto mo, they love me even more. Basta Nora luto mo yan. Hey, hey.
Tayo na sa iyo. Tayo'y magpatingin. Tayo na sa iyo. Sila'y eksperto at magagaling. Sa iyo. Inyong mata ay mahalin. Iyo Executive Optical. Ang practical. Iyo Executive Optical. Ito ay practical. EO.
And we are back. It is now 7:47 in the evening as we continue our tech conversations right here on Asphere's Coffee. Okay, so let's continue now with the smartphone news, and as we head over now to GSM Arena. Okay, so what you're seeing now is that it looks like Samsung smartphones are other than the S24, S23, and literally as S series phones are now getting One UI 7 updates or the 855. So yes, well, Samsung is finally catching up with One UI 7 on the other budget smartphones, or I should say mid-range smartphones rather. So, Samsung has released the Android 15 based One UI 7 update for the Galaxy A55 in Europe. It comes with firmware versions A556B, XXU, 7B, YDB, and requires a download of around 3 gigabytes. In addition to One UI 7 features, this update brings the May 2025 Android security patch to the Samsung Galaxy A55. So, yeah, I have it's a major update for the Galaxy A55, and Samsung's finally rolling out after a long delay. Alright, so let's move on to the next one. Well, we didn't expect that coming, as Mitsu is making a big comeback. So Mitsu scheduled a launch event for today, where we expect to see a formal announcement of 5 smartphones and some wearables. And now they're going to plan on starting sales. They're going to plan on starting sales in international markets. So this marks a major comeback to international smartphone market after a very long time. And it was already held earlier. That was around 3 p.m. So yeah, apparently at this point it's a replay. So what were the smartphones that we get to? What were the smartphones that we get to that were covered in the keynote? Well, what you are seeing here is probably in Chinese, but it has the subtitles. Let's see if that even works. It looks like it's refusing to load, but what I'm seeing in the in the timestamp hovering over is that you can see there you go. You can now see the Flyme AI OS. why why do they put AI in anyway here? And now for the price of the new smartphones, let me see what are the prices here. Okay, so for the Mitsu Note 22, this we have an early bird pricing. It's gonna take a while to load too, so might bear with me here. It's really hard, I know. Alright, so let's just wait for it to load. I don't know if it's my internet or maybe the YouTube skill issue. I don't know, but there we go. So for the Mitsu Note 22, the pricing is, oh my goodness, this is cheaper than I expected. But for the early bird pricing, this is gonna cost you $139 for 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, and $200 for 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. That is the Note 22 that is Mitsu Note 22. And as for the Mitsu Note 22 5G, let me just wait for that to load here. Whoops, do not mind the movie videos here. So for the Mitsu Note 22 5G, this is gonna cost you starting at $169 for the 8 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, $189 for 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, and $229 for 12 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage. So that is pretty cheap if you ask me. The pricing looks very tempting. The pricing looks very tempting. And as for the next smartphone, let me just wait for it to buffer. Still loading. I don't know why it's suddenly slow, but we should be able to get into the next batch of the spot for pricing, which is Mitsu M Blue 22. And I believe that is an entry level smartphone, which is why it's priced at $79 for 3 gigabytes of RAM and 64 gigabytes of storage. So that is why it's priced at that, because this is a budget oriented smartphone. And as for the 4 gigabytes of RAM and 128 gigabytes of storage, it's going to cost you $89. So that is M Blue 22, which again is it's an entry level smartphone, and yes, it has a camera punch also. Kudos to Mitsu for their efforts. And now, as for the first look of the phone, this is how the phone looks like. That is the Note 22. And then you have the M Blue 22, which is an entry level smartphone. And then you have the M Blue 22 Pro, which is a bit more expensive. So let's take a look at the M Blue 22 Pro. How much does that cost? Alright, so for the M Blue 22 Pro, let me just wait for that to buffer. still loading. I don't know why. What's wrong with YouTube right now? Even though I have Brave app longer, I think it should load just fine. Even my connection is fine. But yes, as for the M22 Pro, which is a little bit more on the more, I just say, sitting on the mid-range side, but on this dollar on the price wise. So 44 gigabytes of RAM and 108 gigabytes of storage. This is gonna cost you $99. And 46 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, this is gonna cost you $119. And finally, for the 8 gigabytes of RAM and 256 gigabytes of storage, that is gonna cost you $139. So there you go. So that is the pricing for the M Blue 22 Pro. And man, as the phone looks pretty premium, I'd say, quote unquote premium for the price, it is very, 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 very tempting. So now, we know how these smartphones look like with the M Blue Mitsu Note 22 and Note 22 Pro, and the M Blue 22, which is a budget oriented smartphones with the standard and the Pro. But man, they have a wide range of configurations, and I do not know if this is going to please anyone concerning how the performance will work. But yes, again, affordable pricing for Mitsu, very promising, and it's very tempting too. And as for some wearables, they have a ring too, I'd say. And yeah, that is why it's called Fly Me. So that is called Fly With Me event. So that is Mitsu's comeback on their smartphones right now, which we just take a look at. So yeah, we have Note 22, M Blue 22, and M Blue 22 Pro. And what are the regions that we'll be getting? So we will be getting in over 30 countries in Latin America, Europe, Central Asia, the Middle East, and the Asia Pacific. So there's a very good chance that this will rival with Techno, or Transsion rather. Transsion, yes. Familiar with Transsion? Yes, absolutely. So here are the specs-wise features you can expect here for the Note 22. Of course, as expected, they will up with MediaTek chipsets since it's cheaper. And for the M Blue models, it's aiming for affordability. So for the specs-wise, the M Blue 22 Pro will have a 6.79-inch 120Hz IPS LCD with 720p plus resolution. Not even 1080p, mind you. You have 50 megapixel on the back and 8 megapixel camera on the front. It has stereo speakers, a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. Again, take note of this. Take note, smartphone manufacturers. They're still offering 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. They're not removing it yet, right? And even they're still offering micro SD card slot. Wow. And then you have MediaTek G81, and that apparently is only gonna last, if I remember correctly, 4 years. Yeah, 4 years. And now for the budget oriented, it's expected as an Android Go edition phone. So it's going to be based on 28 nanometer Unisoc chip. It's not specified, I don't know why, but again, I told you already, it has 3 gigabytes of RAM and 4 gigabytes of RAM and expandable storage. And it's similar to the Pro, except it runs at 90 Hz. And it has a lower resolution sensors with 30 megapixels on the rear and 50 megapixels on the front. And the 5,000 mAh battery drops to just 10 watt charging. I mean, it's a budget phone after all. And well, as for the Note 22 Pro, they do have fingerprint unlock, face unlock, and tiny shield architecture, and yeah, stylish design too. So yeah, the new phones and smart wearables will be available in Russia, Spain, Malaysia, and Vietnam first, and then expand to other regions. And wonder if Philippines will be included, which I do hope that Mitsu will expand to Philippines, and I think I can confidently say that it is going to outrival Transsion phones in after all. So again, Transsion, mind you, who owns Techno, Infinix, and itel, are currently leading the Philippine smartphone market, And with Misu coming back to the market like this, I can confidently say once again that it is going to outrival Transsion phones in the next several months. I can already predict that Mitsu will outrival Transsion phones. Not even Xiaomi, not even Transsion, Mitsu could already hold the first place spot. I can already tell you that. So there you go, guys. So that is Mitsu smartphones launching globally, and I can again, that is going to that is set to launch next month. Alright, so as we're about to wrap it up now, it is exactly 8 o'clock, and I'm not sure if Mama is in the stage. So let me just double check with Mama before we hand over to the next program on Cool FM. I asked him a question already if there will be a hangout with Mamon. It seems like no response, but I would say it's a 50-50 that there will be hangout with Mamon. If not, there will be not. So we'll see if Mamon joins the stage, because again, it's if a TLC team is prepared for the next segment. Well, not the next segment, but I am confident that the TLC team is prepared for HWM as well. So yeah. So yeah, it looks like we still have no signs of Momon, but we do have his activity last 8 minutes ago. So yeah. Again, we're just awaiting for Momon's response, or rather join the Discord stage before we can sign this off. So yeah. And again, just before we go, you can find Asphere's Cafe on various platforms, which is on YouTube. You can find us on TG1 Entertainment, Cool FM Primetime live stream via TG1 Cool FM's YouTube channel, AspMedia's YouTube channel as well, and also live on Twitch. We are live on Twitch as well for the entire Cool FM live stream too. And as for the fictional networks, we are live on Cool TV and Extra Plus too, and also on LTV as well, the newest Kalamao network from TG1. Okay, so I'm keeping my eyes peeled because I have to go soon to prepare for dinner, and as of right now, I'm still not getting anything from or receiving any response from Mama. So we will just keep our eyes peeled. Okay, that was an accident. Alright, so still waiting. Okay, so it looks like it's been more than 4 minutes now, and then I have to wrap it up now, so I can't wait longer. Okay, so we are waiting for Momo's response. If there will be hangout with Momo tonight, continue to hang out. Okay, so I don't think I can do that because I have to go. So, yep. I mean, there will be hangout with Momo indeed, but if Momo joins, there will be the show. But yeah, okay. Exactly 8:04, or say almost 1 minute before 8:05, and I think we will have to go now. So that is all for the coffee tonight, guys. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. We'll be back again tomorrow, where we will do another coffee session right here on Asphere's Cafe. But tomorrow it's going to be where we will cover some of the pop culture headlines, including my favorite anime as well. And hopefully by tomorrow, Jim Carr will be back on stage. So Jim Carr, if Jim Carr ever will be joining my stage tomorrow, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, until then, I am Cairo, filling in for Dream Car Karaoke. The cafe is now closed, and Coming up next on Cool FM is hang out with Mamon, but Mamon is gonna be absent for a while. So yeah. Until then, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye, guys, and have yourself a great night. Goodbye.